Green Bay police say a 29-year-old man is now charged in a brutal machete attack that left 2 people seriously hurt on the city's east side. Investigators say that David Marina Garcia forced his way into a home on Edgewood Drive early Monday, went into a bedroom and attacked a 23-year-old man and a 26-year-old woman with a large bladed weapon. Both victims suffered deep cuts and needed emergency surgery. According to the criminal complaint, Marina Garcia told detectives he, quote, just wanted to kill them, end quote, and led officers to the machete that he threw from his vehicle after driving away. He remains in custody on a $750,000 bail. He'll be back in court next month. Police say the investigation is still active. They're asking anyone with information to contact Green Bay Police.